Bompus going on. There's Bompus in the house. Sam's Club was slightly underwhelming, but basically the membership is free because you sign up for it and then you get like a gift card for the same amount that the membership costs back. So what's Screech? Why is this so? This is like the okay. Oh, that was probably the XM radio changing. So I've got raw chicken and beef in the car, so I'm gonna head home. I'm not gonna cook tonight. I just bought this because I wanted to get some food. Hey, GD Gardens. There's that ice cream place, always busy. Sorry, it's raining just enough where I have to actually have my windshield wipers on. Looks like it's gonna go away in a little bit. I've been catching green lights like it's my job. Look at that sun. I don't know if you guys can see that. Around this corner, you should be able to. These Florida sunsets I take for granted, but a lot of people, talk about how great they are, and they are nice. Look at that sun. Wow, it sounds like a lot of fun. Favorite chicken sandwich? I don't think I've had any of them. I've had Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's good. I never had Popeyes. I haven't eaten. I don't have a Chick-fil-A or Popeyes near me anymore, so I haven't really, since really the craze started. But Chick-fil-A's is pretty good. I heard Popeyes is better. I mean, there's a Popeyes, I just passed one actually, but that's the closest one to me. So that's a solid 20-minute drive. 105. I mean, I wouldn't be excited for it to be 105 here. That's the slowest intermittent. Wait, let me see. This thing might be messed up. Oh, okay. That's weird. It's like works what appears to be in reverse. So like buying raw chicken and meat is like kind of a new thing for me. I don't really cook, but I'm gonna try to do this as part of like, I'm tired of eating food out. Yeah, the heat index here is always over 100 during the day as long as it's sunny, but I don't really pay attention to that because it's just really hot. And then, oh, whoops, what's going on here? Give me a second, guys. 117. There used to be two teddy bears over here on the left in this parking lot, a place called the Family Table Restaurant, which pretty much serves the blandest food that I know of. Fuck. but one died in the cold. The other one they just cut down, which is sad because I think they were probably 30 years old. Making really good time actually. Usually I haven't hit a light yet. This is the first light I've hit. Now I'll probably hit every single light until I get home. I went through all Port Charlotte and Northport with no lights, which is like very rare. So I'm gonna go home, drop this off, and I'm actually gonna go out, I'm gonna order some food or pick up some food. I don't know what, but I'm not gonna eat at the house because I've eaten food at the house for the past like week. Sorry, this is my music from Ryan. I'm not with Ashley anymore. In fact, I'll tell you the story because I don't mind telling it. Ryan, you probably remember that Incubus. I'm not sure if you were into rock like that. Oh, come on, guys, it's 55 here. So, a little over a year ago, I decided to. Let me get to where there's no more. A little over a year ago, I went up to see my sister. Ashley's mom got COVID. I didn't really want to be around. She lived nearby, and there was some contact that had gone on, so I went to my sister's for a little bit, and I decided not to go back. And Ashley, we'll just say she moved on pretty quickly, and I think it was kind of a mutual thing where we just kind of decided this wasn't working anymore. And I got that house there in Venice, and I took my mom out of her assisted living, so she could have some semblance of like a normal life, even though COVID was still pretty rough there. And Ashley got engaged a few months later. She knew the person since her high school. She dated him in high school, and it kind of just worked out for them, and I'm happy for them. And I guess they're getting married in January. But I can't comment on it's YouTube and people find things out. But one thing that was funny is, and I don't mind them finding out, is I was never a fan of Ashley's mom. She's not a very intelligent person, but everything that she does have in regards to intelligence is used for, in my opinion, malicious purposes. So we never got along. That was a very big point of contention. And Ashley has a very good heart. She means well. There are just some things that we just weren't compatible with, and I think we dealt with it for a longer time than we probably should have. This is me being honest on YouTube. Not that I'm dishonest on YouTube, but she deserves to be happy, and I deserve to be happy, and we kind of came to that consensus. I wouldn't say it was done in the best way possible, but sometimes you just gotta do whatever works, I guess. Ashley's mom actually found out that I was saying negative things about her on live on YouTube. I guess she subscribed to the channel and heard what I had to say, but I don't mind. I mean, that's one thing that I have no problem discussing, because it's just I guess to say this in a nice manner, she's a genuinely terrible person. And I don't hate her, but I feel bad for her. try not to speed here because I got pulled over this weekend. Got a warning. I think I told you guys that. So there's a lot more palms that have been planted here. This is newly built. This used to be nothing. This area is going to be, this on the right hand side is called the West Villages. Atlanta Braves, where they go, the stadium for spring training is right to our left. This used to be just an entrance to State College of Florida, which used to be called Manatee Community College, or MCC. Now it's a big complex on the left. This is called Welland Park, and it's going to be a big commercial, industrial area. I don't know about industrial, but a commercial park. And back at River Road and 41, they're building apparently 2 hotels to house people for spring break training. Or spring training, not spring break training, you know what I mean? I was a Braves fan when I lived in Virginia because Richmond Braves or AAA Atlanta Braves, or AAA for Atlanta. So this was all farmland and undeveloped land. You know, when I moved here, there was nothing here. You had to go all the way to, I'll show you, not this light, but the next light over, which is at least 2 miles from here. Even that, GD Gardens, is not good enough because technically Sable Miamiensis, you know, in my opinion, it could be, it's more than just a variation. The seeds are so different. I think that's important. I understand botanists do a job a certain way. They're given like a parameters in which to identify a species, but you know, let's say that there was like people from Spain and people from Portugal, and people from Portugal were like 2 feet taller than people from Spain. Like, you would think they were probably like a different, like, no. Now we're just getting bad reception here. So Sable Latonia, you know, it's really the best way to ID Sable Latonia is to go to Habitat and find it. In my opinion, Sable Latonia is very hard to identify outside of Habitat. It's not really like looked for. It's probably like the most forgotten sable species. Sable miamiensis has this extinct thing going on that people like about it. It has a big seed. And, you know, wasn't really well known until 2007-08 when I collected seed off a very pure individual that was collected from Fairchild, that was collected from Scott Zona, who redescribed it as a valid species during his doctoral dissertation. So the purity of that actual plant is quite high. If there's any pure one in cultivation, that's like the oldest one. It's going to be one of those that was from the early 90s. So that plant's 30 years old now. It still is in Inglewood. I'm sorry. I can't see. I have Uber Eats running on my phone, and it's actually giving me offers that takes up my whole screen for like 30 seconds. And if I turn it off, then the thing will pause. So I have it running. Let me turn it off real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have to. Okay, there we go. I just did that because I don't want them just to run it in. Yeah, sable, you know, there's a lot of sable species. I want to say there's around 15 of them. We have Palmetto minor Etonia. These are the valid species. Then you have Causiarum and Domingensis, which are probably going to get lumped into one species in the near future. Then you have Sable gretheri, which is an unknown, it's from Mexico. You have Sable mexicana, you have Sable antiliensis, Mauritiiformis ignapa, what is that, like 10? And then Sable bermudana, trying to think what else is out there. There's a couple, like, there's a lot of varieties. You know, you have Sable Birmingham, Sable Riverside. These are probably naturally occurring, not naturally, but like true to form hybrids. They're not naturally occurring. There is a kind of a naturally, Sable Brazoriensis is probably a naturally occurring hybrid between Palmetto and Mexicana. It's actually pretty nice out. It's 84, which is very tall for this time of year. Sable Lisa is a mutation. Yeah, it is a natural mutation of Palmetto, but it is not a distinct species. It's a variation. So variations. When people say variety, or so there's a couple of things you might see like shorthand of, and one is VAR. Period. That means like variety. Essentially, a variety is a subspecies. They're almost interchangeable. Now, subspecies are basically varieties that might become new species. Now, varieties are kind of like a variation of the plant that may become a new species in the future if it is allowed to evolve more. This is like how I see it. I'm not saying this is the scientific definition of it. Sable Brazoria is not a species. It is a variation. Now, it is a naturally occurring hybrid. It's not a true species, but I think it comes true to form. So, Sable Birmingham is probably some mixture of Palmetto with minor with Mexicana of some sort. It's hard to say. Riverside is probably like a Mexicana Causiarm hybrid. I don't know. Again, Riverside comes from Riverside, California. There's a palm growing there with huge leaflets, very cold hardy. Birmingham, again, one of those, probably a Palmetto minor hybrid. We call that major minor. That's what we would call it here. Sable Birmingham basically does not exist, at least in Central or South Florida. I've never seen one like in the flesh. It's an old Suzuki, the Suzuki Katana. Or is it Katana? I don't know what it's called, but it's a piece of crap. Yeah, I mean, basically, it comes down to the flowering of the palm. It's all about the flowering. You know, palms can have huge variations in leaflets, but the flowers will always remain distinct. So for botanists, that's the easiest way to distinguish different species, and that's how they do it. So you could have, you know, for example, there's Lickawalla peltata variation peltata and Lickawalla peltata variation Simawangii. One has segmented leaflets, one has it has an entire leaf. Yeah, you know, Brazoriensis is kind of, you know, a lot of these varieties are just mysteries. You know, Birmingham could be Bermudana crossed with Palmetto. It could be, you know, there's just a lot of $2.99 for gas. There's $2.75 in Port Charlotte. I don't need it any right now, but of course, when you get to Venice, no one wants to go the speed limit, so we sit here. And to kind of like duck and weave between these cars just to get the. I mean, that's kind of part of why I bought this car. I was gonna get this car or an all-electric car, like a Leaf or a Chevy Bolt. And this car gets like 10 miles more per gallon on average. It gets like basically 40 on the highway. I mean, what are we doing? We're going 40 miles an hour. Just drives me nuts when people just. Sorry, I'm from New York. And this guy's sitting here eating peanuts, just fattening himself up to the slaughter. It was a very nice sunset. That, you know, that reddish magenta, like a hot magenta neon situation going on there. So I just passed where my sister's turnoff is. Yeah, so there's a guy named Walt who lives in Lake Placid, which is basically in the area where Etonia is native, and he is like one of the foremost guys that knows like how to identify Etonia because he just gone through like so many of the areas. Really cool guy. Oh, one of the old school collectors. He's lived there since '97. I know it's not necessarily that old, but for Florida, that's pretty old, being like 25 years, around over 25 years. Someone I was gonna Red Slim X survive. Come on, pay some attention. Yeah, sealing waxes will survive in pretty much anywhere in the Keys. I'd say Key Largo is actually kind of a a marginal area, but like Marathon South is a safe zone for it. Ty P. You know, it's Ty. A lot of that information is false, and I know you're probably just trolling. But oh, these lights are going up now. But palms provide a lot of nutrients, oil, shelter. You can use thatching. Like pretty much everybody in a third world country that lives in the tropics uses coconuts for food, shelter. I mean, what else are you looking for in a plant? Are you going to eat an oak tree? Are you going to eat a holly bush? No, it's okay. Let him go. I mean, if he wants to get roasted, I'll roast him. You guys know I'm capable of taking care of it. It's when people are just straight out spamming like with just garbage, like they just provides nothing. But if he wants to discuss this, we can discuss it. Yeah, I mean, they provide wax, like the wax you use when you chew gum, Caranuba wax, that comes from Copernicia. The leaflets are stripped of their wax. That's why it's called the Caranuba wax. It's called the Caranday wax, but it has Caranuba wax as well in it. Other source for, hey Dylan, G-Pad, source for Kentias. No, they don't really grow well around here. They grow in the deep shade, but that's about it. I've seen some decent ones here. It's just, I just realized there's some interesting people. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna unload the car. I'm going to order some food, and then we're gonna go pick it up. Might be a few minutes. I have to go. I'll be gone, but I'm gonna leave this running. I don't want to back up all the way because then I can't open the trunk. Right. Anyone who's watching this that thinks they're showing up at my house at night, I would not recommend that. Just a little thing out there for someone that wants to be funny. Don't be funny. Give me a heads up at least. So I'll be right back, guys. Start to rain here too. Get my little insulated bag for. Oh, it smells like meat in here. That's what's in here. It still feels good.
list of Tool, Maynard James Keenan, a lot more now that I know he's a big fan of the Canadian TV show Letterkenny. He was getting some hate, and he had to shut down the haters. I wonder if he'd like Canada. If you didn't know already, me, Katie Babs, I'm from British Columbia. It'd be pretty cool to go over there with Maynard, show him around, get some poutine, drink some beers, go to Tim Hortons, do all the Canadian things.
Hey guys, don't worry, I'm still here. It's gonna be another 5 minutes or so. Why is this? Okay, give me another few minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, who's still watching? Sorry about that, everyone. I know a lot of people left, and I don't blame you. I had to put everything away. Sorry, let me get this going here. There we go. There's one thing I'm never going to forget. It's my phone. I use it for everything. Who wants to go shopping at Publix? So I bought this car on June 24th of this year. How many miles are on it right now? See if I can adjust this a little bit. That might be a little bit less crooked. I don't know. Probably should have started a new stream because I was in there for what, 10 minutes or so, which isn't really fair, but I figured you guys wanted to see some more plants and or talk, so So there's only one Publix in town that's open till 10 o'clock. For some reason, it's the one furthest outside of town. One Publix is getting renovated. Let's find something more. Not that. Necessarily that. Wow, there's a lot of 80s music that's now on Classic Rewind. New Venice Police Department pulled me over. I lived here 17 and a half years. They pulled me over twice. No, that's just the city of Venice. Hello, Max Lax. How are you? Welcome to the stream. So we're gonna go into Publix. funny thing is, this car doesn't feel that much less powerful. It just doesn't sound very powerful. I was hoping we could see some lit up palms. Not getting a whole lot of that. Not really what I want to listen to. That's weird. You can like make the band and the name of the song disappear. Okay. I'm gonna bring the phone in, see what I can do. I might have to put it in my pocket a couple times, but you guys want to see me go shopping at Publix? These are all foxtails. They've been here for about 10 years, and none of them look that great, honest. They need a lot of room to spread their roots out. Let's do the hole. Is anyone still here with me? Alright, I'm gonna get the cherry first. It's hard for me to hold this and pretend like I'm not filming. Put it in my pocket here for a second. Let me see something. Okay. Okay. Oops. Alright, I called it my mom's phone. That's why you didn't recognize. The sesame chicken? Yeah.
Oh, 10, 11.
10, 11.
No, Jim, what? Come on.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I didn't use my phone because I was live on YouTube. Ah, sure. Alright, that's